Hey everybody, welcome to Takeoff with John Clark. We are at the NovaCare Complex at Eagles training camp. We have a very special guest, the new offensive coordinator, Kevin Patullo. But I want to let you know, finally, Eagles preseason football is back Thursday, August 7th on NBC 10. Our pregame show starts at 7 o'clock. Open practice at the Lynx Sunday night, August 10th. And catch us the night before the first preseason game, August 6th on NBC 10. Tough, detailed together, a special on the Super Bowl champ. So let's welcome in our guest, Kevin Patullo. You're going to be calling plays for the first time in the NFL. Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
So what does it feel like, maybe from when you were a kid or in college? I mean, you're going to be calling plays in the NFL.
You know, I'd say it's pretty normal, actually. You know, just kind of how we've done things around here the last 4 years. It doesn't feel much different. It's fun. It's exciting to come to work every day, knowing that, you know, I have my imprint on things, and it'll be a fun challenge.
Dallas Goedert told me this is the easiest transition he has felt so far from all the changes with play callers because of the relationships. How important is that for you? You've got the foundation of all the relationships with these guys.
Yeah, I think that's the number one thing, right? The relationships with guys, because good times are great. Everybody can go through those, right? But when times are tough or you're trying to do something new, that's really where those relationships come in handy. And so I think just over the years, just knowing these guys inside and out, being with them, the good and the bad, it'll really, really pay dividends down the road when we're going through the season, when we have our stretches where it's not going like we think it's going to be, and we can rely on that and push forward.
Watching Jalen Hurts out there when there's maybe a miscommunication or a mistake, he seems really vocal. Is he a little more vocal this year?
I think he is, right? I think he's earned that right too, and he has a full command of the offense now. Our conversations, him and I in the quarterback room or just on the side, have been tremendous. So I think our vision is aligned and we know what we want to do, and he's been able to step up there and speak the voice of the team.
How much during the offseason have you sat down with Jalen and just to go over everything, visions, and combining everything and things that he likes?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is just kind of when we're around each other, we just kind of feed off each other. I mean, sometimes even it's, you know, at night he'll shoot me a text, I'll shoot him a text if I'm thinking something, and we'll kind of work through it. And it's been really good. I think that's really important when you're aligned with the quarterback and you guys can push the vision of the offense and really stress it, and everybody knows what we want to do. And it starts right with the offensive coordinator and the quarterback pushing the details of everything. We get it going the right direction, it'll be good.
And do you think it's been easier for him? Because he's had a different guy in his ear every year because he's known you for these 4 years.
That is true. That is true. Knowing him, I think it's probably easier. But like anything, like we're all able to adapt, right? As coaches, we all know the roster turns over, and I think players know that the coaching roster turns over. So it's just part of football nowadays, and I think you just got to learn to adapt and do the best you can and let it fly.
And of course, you're coming off a Super Bowl championship, and Nick Sirianni, he gave a good analogy. It's not like you're a boxing champion and somebody's trying to take away your belt. Everybody's 0-0. What was that meeting like to start training camp where he kind of set the tone of like, Super Bowl is done?
And that's exactly what it is, right? The NFL, as we know, every year is so different. You know, you never know what that road's going to look like. You never know how that road's going to be. It may have tons of twists and turns. It may not. And it really comes down to just focusing on what you want to do each week. Because like you said, it is different. You know, that championship, it's just year to year. And you got to prove it every week, every game, and every season, and see what happens.
So everywhere I go, people are like, what do you think the offense is going to look like this year? New offensive coordinator. How would you describe it to Eagles fans? Is it going to be pretty similar or some big changes, or you're just adding a little spice to it?
I think really when you look at it, we'll do whatever we have to do to win. And that's the number one thing. And that's the message right now is whatever we have to do each week, we will do it to win the game. And as long as we're detailed and we understand what to do, we'll be successful.
So you have a background as receivers coach, working with receivers a lot. Give us an idea of what makes A.J. Brown and DeVonta Smith so special in their daily work.
I think the first thing is their football IQ. I think that's the one thing that on the outside you never really get to see. We get to see it as coaches, and the players interact with each other. And so they're such smart football players. They understand what's going to happen sometimes before it happens, and they understand how to adapt and change right in the middle of a play. And that's huge for a high-level player. I think that's what makes those guys elite, right? And the work they put in, right, coming in early. They're one of the first guys in here always, and the last ones to leave, asking good questions. It's nonstop for them. So I think the stuff that they do in the building that we all see as an organization proves why they're such good players and why AJ's and DeVonta are some of the best receivers in the NFL.
So AJ says he feels he's the best receiver in the NFL. Do you agree?
I do agree. I mean, it's how could you not, right? The guy's a one-on-one machine, and it's been fantastic. He's made so many big plays for us over the years. And more than that, not only is he a great player, he's a great person, we have a great relationship, him and I. We go back and forth on a lot of stuff. And, we've had a lot of meetings where we can just talk to each other, and he can take coaching, and I'm very receptive to his ideas. And I think just when you're connected with somebody on an emotional level too, that you can really see not only is he a great player, but he's a great person and what he wants to do for this team. So it makes him even more of an elite player.
And obviously, when you win a Super Bowl, you're trying to find any motivation you can. So for him, he said, proving that he's the best player in the NFL at receiver, that's something that motivates him. And DeVonta says he wants to be a Pro Bowler for the first time, or All-Pro. How do you like the mindset of these guys, and maybe how do they push each other?
And that's what you want, right? So those both want to be the best at their position. And so if they want to be the best at their position, they're going to push each other and really work through it. And I think that's the number one thing, is to create greatness, right? You got to push each other and really try to be competitive within, and then it'll come out on the field.
So last year you guys ran with Saquon Barkley in the offensive line. That was something that you found. Obviously, you've got the great receivers. You throw Dallas Goedert in there. Could we see a little more of the passing game this year? Because those guys did kind of sacrifice a little bit last year, and they're blocking downfield.
I think it goes back to kind of the message I was sending earlier, was just whatever we have to do each week. If we have to throw it, we'll throw it. If we have to run it, we'll run it. I think the guys know that, and that's why we're practicing to just kind of do what we need to do to be successful, and it'll take from there.
Do you always have to keep in the back of your mind, though, like offensive linemen, they're always going to be asking to run the ball and push guys around. Receivers want to get the ball. Do you kind of have that in your mind? I got to give him something right here.
Well, when you've coached multiple positions, right? I've coached quarterbacks, receivers, all these different guys. You can feel that at times, but most of the good players understand the magnitude of the game. Like when the run game's rolling, receivers are usually good. When the pass game's going, the receivers in no line understand, like, hey, we're just protecting now. So I think it kind of goes hand in hand. The guys feel the moment of when we need to do something and to step up. I mean, everybody kind of feeds off each other, right? If Saquon's doing well, that means play actions might pop up. Like, so you just kind of feed off each other and go from there.
Has it been any adjustment, like actually the mechanics of, like, there's a lot of chaos here at camp, and then actually getting that play call in early enough for the quarterback? Has there been any adjustments like, wow, it is really quick?
Not really. I mean, when I was in New York, I called plays into fits. I relayed them in, and I had a hand-in-hand in some of the play calling. So it's not really much different for me. And kind of how the operations worked over the last couple of years here, I was very involved. So the timing of things is not much different. So it feels very natural.
How do you train yourself for those moments where there's so much going on? You may have a player that's not in for a play because he's hurt. In those moments, just thinking so quickly, having plays ready, and then actually the mechanics of getting it in. Like, how do you train for that at practice? Do you do it in front of a mirror?
Well, I think really, like you said, it is at practice, right? And so even like today, we were walking through stuff yesterday, 4 plays for today. And when you kind of get out in the field and you're like, hey, is such and such in? Is Dallas in? No, he's not. Okay, I'm moving on to this play. So you just kind of work with it, and you need to know the identity of the play, right? As the play caller, you know what you're looking for out of that play. So there's a key main person or thing that you're looking for. And so that's why you got to just pay attention and kind of watch it go and get the plan.
And so this is kind of similar to what you've done, but for Nick and Kellen and Shane, have you kind of been during games like a big picture guy of the game, or like remind them of something? Who's going to be that guy for you now? Because you're, play to play, sometimes you're in deep with it. Is there like a big picture guy, or somebody just kind of come tap you on the shoulder sometime?
Well, I mean, right now when you look at our staff, we've been together for the most part. We've added 2 new coaches as far as Scott Loeffler and Parks Frazier and Montgomery Van Gorder, right? Those are kind of the big 3, and Greg Austin on offense with the O-line. And I think the bulk of the staff, because we've been together, the communication's been really good, right? We know kind of how the operation works, the flow of how things work. Parks and I have worked together in Indianapolis, so we have very familiar relationship as far as play calling as well. So I think as far as doing things on a normal basis, I think we're all really in sync right now, and then we just got to continue to do it throughout the year and see where it goes.
Your relationship with Nick, would you describe it? Are you kind of like brothers? You get on each other, or you can debate, you can go back and forth, but then it's all good?
Yeah, I mean, we have our moments, right? We all do. We're all competitors too. But the one thing about Nick is he always listens. He's willing to listen, to take ideas, and he's such a smart guy as far as processing the big picture and understanding, okay, we can do this, this, and this. What do you think? And then kind of telling you what to do from there. So obviously we have our moments where we go back and forth, but that's what makes it fun. He challenges me, which I love, because it's the position I'm in now is because of him, right? And I know I can challenge him as well, and we go back and forth, and that relationship has got us to where we both are today.
Yeah, I was talking to some guys and they say, yeah, you guys can go at it. You can let it all out, debate, but then everything's all good and you respect each other's opinion. Has there ever been a time or a big debate where like one of you had to leave the room and come back? Like,
Not really. No. I mean, I think the respect is such great between the two of us because we know we feed off each other and we trust each other so much that, at the end of the day, we want the same thing. So no matter what happens, we want the same thing and we will be in line when we go forward.
When you watch the Super Bowl and you see that moment where Nick is like, call the play, dagger to DeVonta Smith. What is that like to have an aggressive coach like that and a guy with that confidence?
It's fun because, that whole series, we talked through it and he said, yeah, let it go. And when you do that, the confidence from the head coach, goes into the coordinator and the coordinator calls the play within the offense. And when that message is pushed, we all know it's going to execute at that point in time. So it was fun. It was a fun moment. We enjoyed that on the sidelines.
Now, you got some good celebrations.
We did.
You and Nick.
Yes.
Are you going to be able to do that?
Oh, absolutely. That's not changing. Yeah, that won't change.
Nice. How happy are you for Nick, where you've seen his evolution coming to Philadelphia? Of course, there's always rough spots in Philly because the fans and everybody here, they have high expectations. How proud are you of him, and how have you seen him grow and mature as a head coach?
I just think from day one, him and I being together and working on things behind the scenes, until this point, all the hard work he's put into it, you can really feel. I mean, his passion for the city and for this team is tremendous, beyond their wildest imaginations, right? He wants it so bad. He'll do anything. And so to be here with him from day one and to now and know all the work that's gone in it, and also being, kind of with him hand in hand and stuff in meetings behind closed doors, away from people and knowing the decisions he's had to make to put the team in the best positions, he deserves every chance he gets to be where he's at right now. So it's really cool to see just working with him in a different capacity, coming, here from Indianapolis together and watching him grow into the coach that when I knew him in Indy, when I knew him even before that, when we were coaching the NFL, you could see at some point this guy was going to do something great. And so now we just got to continue to do it.
And I'll kind of ask you the same question about Jalen Hurts, because if you watch TV in the offseason, you got some former quarterbacks like Cam Newton, not including him in a top 10 list, Chris Sims, former quarterback, number 9, getting a little disrespected nationally. But he had an incredible quote this past week where he said, the way I was told to do it before, I didn't win. And then when you don't care how it looks, you just want to win, then he got it done and won a Super Bowl. How have you seen him evolve and maybe not try to do too much in some situations, but mature in that way to be in total control of a game?
Yeah, I think for him, right, the end result is the win. Let's just win. He doesn't care. I mean, and that's the greatest quality he has is he just wants to win. He'll sacrifice himself in any way he needs to for the team just to win. That's what he wants to do. And you can feel that as a team. And so if he's going to run the ball, throw the ball, whatever he has to do, he just wants to win. And so when you're working with guys like that and playing with guys like that, you just breed confidence because you feel like he's a winner, I'm a winner, we're going to win. And, those lists are those lists. It is what it is. But the guy was a Super Bowl MVP and a Super Bowl champion. So, he's won a lot of games here.
Yeah. So when you hear that and when you see him do that, obviously everybody wants to be able to do what they do best. But he sacrificed last year as well, and he talked about that. How special was that, the sacrifice of the team? When you find something good that's working, everybody kind of sells out for it, and they're blocking downfield, and they're doing everything it takes to get success for that particular person.
Right, when we play this game as young kids growing up, right, the ultimate goal is what? To win a Super Bowl. And so when you feel that and you get close to that, you're willing to do anything. And I think that's what we felt last year. Jalen included, AJ, Saquon, whoever it may be, the O-line, whoever it is, those guys are willing to sacrifice what they need to because they want to win a championship. It's such a rare thing that when you get that opportunity, you're willing to sacrifice anything to get that done. And I think that's what you saw last year from not only Jalen, but really the whole team, right? Whatever we need to do, coaches, players, whoever, we all sacrificed to get that win, and we got it done. And like you said earlier, we're on to a new season. Nobody cares anymore. Here we go.
And is this maybe the best Jalen has looked to start a camp? He seems very, very accurate with the football, in complete control, and there's a calmness to him.
I think he's done a really good job. I think he feels comfortable with things. Like I said, our relationship has been really good, and I think he feels the direction of things are in the right way to where he can continue to progress. And the best part about him too is not only does he want to win, but he just wants to get better. So he'll take coaching, he'll take whatever he needs, he'll try it, and then we'll discuss it and we'll go from there. And that's why he is where he is right now as a winning quarterback.
And I think because of his dad, he has said in the past he likes to be coached hard because of that relationship that you've built. Can you coach him hard?
You can coach him hard, right? And he's really good about just going back and forth as far as information. You can give him a lot of information, coach him hard, and then, he'll in turn do what you need to do.
So I was asking a couple of people, hey, tell me about Kevin Patullo. And they said, well, he loves golf. And obviously your daughter is an incredible golfer. Do you take any lessons from what she's doing and things that she does with golf or what you do with golf and the sport to your job?
I think really it's kind of a back and forth, right? Like she's forged relationships with AJ and DeVonta and even Jalen and Jason Kelsey in years past to where she can go back to these guys and ask questions, and I can give her kind of just little bits of information of how they compete at a high level, because it is very similar if you're trying to play at a high level. And I know she works extremely hard at it. Caddying for her gets very nerve-wracking because you're just kind of watching, like you don't really know what's going on, but it's a lot of fun. Being in that arena is a blast, and I love every second of it. It is a lot of fun, and I think she's enjoyed it because she gets to watch me do my thing, and I get to watch her do her thing. And like I said, just kind of going back and forth with the information with our guys and her having relationships with everybody to help her get to where she wants to is really cool.
Do you have more nerves when you're getting ready to call a play or watching her?
No, watching her. Yeah, watching her. Yeah, because you just want them to do so well, right? It's your kid. You want them to do so well. Same thing with my son. He's a really good football player. In fact, he just actually won the Laurel Creek Junior Club Championship yesterday.
Wow.
Which is, he's turning into a golfer now too somehow, but he's an offensive and defensive lineman, so he loves his sports as well. I think as a parent, you get more nervous for your kids because you want them to do so well.
Yeah.
When you're out here on the field, you love it, and it's just what you do, so it's very second nature to you, and you feel just kind of connected to the players, and so it's very different.
And I'll tell you, Philly's different because Philly feels their football team is like family. What have you learned coming from Philly, and maybe how has Philadelphia made you better?
I really love it because just kind of growing up in the Northeast, it's a lot of fun. Professional sports when I was a kid were at the pinnacle, right, of just me being a kid and wanting to be somebody one day. And being here and just being connected to my neighbors or just the people I see every day and talking football. And it's really a lot of fun because they're invested in it just like we are. And so to see them kind of be excited about things and they can't wait for football season and be excited for you, it's a lot of fun.
And where are you keeping your Super Bowl ring? Because I know a lot of guys said, okay, that's in the past. And now you have a chance now, first time ever as a play caller. So where do you keep that ring and where do you keep it in your mind? Is it totally out of your mind now?
Yeah, it's pretty much out of my mind. Like I said, it's a new year. It was fun last year and it was what it was. And one day I'll look back on this and be like, wow, I did that. But right now, the task at hand is what we want to do. And that's where we're going, 2025, new season.
All right, well, we wish you the best in 2025.
Thank you, appreciate it, John.
We wish your daughter and your son the best as well.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Got high expectations in the family.
That's right.
Live up to them.
That's right.
And a quick reminder, our coverage of Eagles football this year starts on NBC 10 Wednesday, August 6th. You can catch the Tough Detailed Together special on the 2024 Super Bowl champs, and then you'll see the 2025 Eagles on the field for the first time for the preseason game on NBC 10 the next night, Thursday, August 7th. Our pre-game show, you can catch it starting at 7 o'clock, and then Sunday night, August 10th, the open practice at the Link. You can still get tickets benefiting the Eagles Autism Foundation. Thanks for watching Takeoff with John Clark.